All right, looks like we're pretty much all set. So let's do this. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you're all doing okay. I'm Pierre, your host. Welcome to my stream. Welcome to Claudine, who just showed up in our studios. Welcome to everybody. So we're starting just a few minutes late today. Of course, my OBS Streamlabs program had to download a bunch of stuff just to make us late. Let's put it that way. So anyways, my friends, let's not waste any time. It's Friday. We all want to start the weekend as soon as possible. But first, what we're going to do is what we always do. We're going to go over to the computer. We're going to check out what we did yesterday, and then we'll tackle our day from there. So what did we do yesterday? Well, we basically put the background to our jungle. We did a little bit of some blues for the sky that will be peeking through, and then eventually we added some shadowing to our frame. We started with some dark shadowing, and there, if you notice, we went to some light shadowing as well. But as you will notice, the lighter shadowing, you cannot see it. You can't see it because as it dries, I always mention this, but when the paint dries, it has a tendency to darken. And that's exactly what it did. It darkened to the point where it blended in with the background. So anyways, not everywhere. So I can see here there's a little bit of a lighter, some lighter shading, but generally it all blends in. It doesn't really matter because this is just a background and there's going to be so much stuff on top of this that it won't really matter. So today, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to just jump into the jungle area. We're going to go to the I'm just checking out my computer, making sure everything is working okay. Yesterday I started the stream, and for the first 3 minutes I forgot, I realized that the microphone wasn't on. So now I'm a little scared, that's why I'm double checking, but apparently everything is okay. So anyways, we are going to start adding our foliage on top of our jungle thing, and I'm going to do that basically in white paints so that when we add some color, they will be nice and vibrant on Monday. So let me just get a little bit of white paint together. I guess I can actually just use the cap to my jar of white paint as a palette. And I just noticed here that I have a little drop of paint that fell on my paintbrush and caked up on it and actually just made it really dry. So what I'm going to do is I cut it off with some scissors, and then I'm going to cut on a diagonal the rest of squeeze my hairs, and then just cut on a diagonal the hairs that I can get to. Like that, it makes a nice little pointy end to be more precise, and then as I push down on the brush, it will flatten out and get fatter. But I do that quite a bit with my paintbrushes. Like that permits me to have a nice pointy end. So that said, let me just grab my wider knife right here. Put a little bit of this white paint right there. I am going to add quite a bit of water to it because this paint is really thick. Not that it's a problem or anything, but usually the paint comes out pretty creamy, you know, out of the jars. Well, in this particular jar, it was really thick, so you really have to add water to it to make it more pleasant to work with. So that said, let me add some water to it, as I just mentioned. So I'm going to use a wider brush. I'm not going to be using this brush. It's way too big. But just to go a little quicker, I'm going to use that to get my paint to be the right texture, the right consistency to paint with. So I'm just going to blend this in. It's not very exciting. It's white paint on a white cap, white palette, so white on white, you can barely see it. Of course, if I was mixing several colors, I'd probably go over to camera number 1 over there, and I would do it together with you guys. But anyway, so here we are. I see the paint is getting very quickly the right consistency that we love painting with. Nice creamy texture. There we go. Work this out, work this out. Squash everything. Sure there's no chunks of paint in there. There we go. So that looks pretty good. Now, importantly, now I'm going to be working really small. This is a small area. I'm really not used to. I'm used to making my leaves, as you can tell, all around a lot larger. So I'm going to have to be kind of careful. Okay, so what brush am I going to use? I think I can start off with maybe this guy here. Eventually, I might need this one here or this one. I have several choices, I guess. I have quite a few of these smaller brushes, so I'm not really that worried. I'm just not sure which one to use first. Not exactly sure what I'm going to be doing either. I'm just going to improvise and so let's just start off, first of all, by getting my brush wet. That will give me time to bring over camera number 1, which I will put over here. Zoom in as well. Probably start with a plant right up here on the top, then eventually some branches, and we'll see. We'll just go. We'll just go along and see what happens. Okay, so let me just step back for a second. I'm also, if you don't mind, I'm going to have a quick sip of water as well. There we go. Okay, so let me switch over to camera number 1 and let's get to work. All right, just like that. Let's get little branches here and there. Something like that, right? And then what? Then what do we do? I mean, you can do so many different things. How about one, just one tree there? Let's make one tree like this all the way down, which will be covered up. I'm going to stop right there so I don't put my hand in it as we go along. And then here as well. How can I do that? Let's do something like this. Something like that. You know, things like that. It's a little bit wider here. Got some vines maybe. Vines that are going in the background. Why not? Something else, maybe some vines like over here. Right, something like that. And what else? What can we do here? Just more jungle stuff, right? More leaves and plants and whatever. Oh, that. This. Everything has to go one on top of the other. You know, something like that, I guess. Just like that. Come down like this. I mean, we can give it the final shape and everything once we add the colors to all this. Well, we know all these colors. What are they going to be? They're all going to be variations of greens, right? After all, this is the jungle. Jungle, baby. Like that. Oops. Finish this guy here. Maybe make it whiter. Better. And the vine can either go on top or underneath it. We can see when it's time to add some colors. Here as well, right? Let's do another one. Here, like that. All right, these plants will be in the background. On top of them, we can put some other plants, right? Nothing is set in stone. You know, stuff like that. Leaves right there. Let's make something like that, like little hearts. Little hearts type plants. Use nice bright colors for all that. Just like that. Oops. Whatever. Whatever. We're pretty flexible. Just like that. We can have that continuation of this tree going down over here like that. Maybe even another thinner tree, maybe like right in here. Just to give us an idea, right? What's going on, then maybe that one of these crazy little plants like this. I like these kind of crazy little plants. They don't have a name, but whatever. I gotta change paintbrushes here. If I'm gonna do something thinner, there we go. Here like that. Just like that. And you know, stuff like that. Okay, I don't know. And then what? Just little leaves like this, maybe? Like that? I don't know. There we go, things like that. Up here as well, right? I'll just add a few of these guys just so we can have our jungle bleed over on our sky. So let me just step back for a second, take a look, see what all this looks from afar. Okay, maybe we can just fill in one more guy up here. Right, we get the general idea, right? Maybe we could add, just for the hell of it, something like a spider plant right in here, just to have a little variety. I'll come back to camera number 1 for that. I'll zoom in actually even. That when I edit the movie, it'll make more sense like that. There we go. So, I don't know. Do we want this to go on top or underneath? I'm just going to make a little line just so on Monday we don't forget what we were doing. Yeah, I think that's going to look quite nice. I think that'll look all right. I did cut a little corners on my jungle here, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to overdo it. When we add colors, if we have to overstep a few things, we'll do that like that. So, hey, well, believe it or not, I think today we are done for the day. I love these Fridays. They're always short and sweet. So that is what our stream looks on camera number 1. What it looks like when it's afar on camera number 2. And that comes to the conclusion of our mini stream of 23 minutes. So anyways, my friends, I want to thank you very much for joining me. Monday, we're going to be adding a lot of colors to our little jungle. Then eventually we're going to work on the frame on our main character. I'm sure by next Friday we'll be finished on this painting. At least I'll keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully we will. Not that I'm in any rush, to be honest with you, but that's the way it goes. So I all hope you have an awesome weekend. I know that I'm going to enjoy it. I always do. And I'll see you here on Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, or 3 p.m. if you're living in France. I'm going to leave you like I always do with 2 things. I'm going to leave you with my schedule, which is very simple. It's every day, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'm going to be saying to you all, ciao mes amis.